G'day and welcome to Wine Around Oz, the show where we do the miles so you wear the smiles. I'm Tim.
And I'm Kat, and we have been to Tumbarumba a few days ago actually, but the weather has been ridiculous. We've had dust storms, we've had rain, we've had
wind, we've had freezing temperatures, and it's been pretty hard to actually find the right time and place to get the show done.
Yeah. We had a bit of trouble in Tumbarumba when it came to cellar doors. There are about 22 to 25 vineyards, but only 3 or 4 of them actually have cellar doors, and of those, only one of them is open during the week, 7 days. The rest are open on weekends, and one of them is actually closed at the moment because they've changed hands. They'll be reopening in October, but really that was no good to us at the time.
We're in Tumbarumba in a midweek kind of thing, so if you were thinking of going there for, again, a cellar door wine tasting kind of weekend thing...
It's a weekend thing.
It's a weekend at the most, and then you'll possibly only get 4 cellar doors unless you're the kind of person who wants to call ahead and make an appointment. Other than that, Tumbarumba, probably not the most accommodating for weekend cellar door tours.
So the vineyard that we went to was Glenburnie, and we grabbed a sparkling there. But given that we were having such rubbish weather, we drank it. So we found a few other wines that we could show you today.
So the Tumbarumba region, just we might have mentioned it before, but it's just west of the Kosciuszko National Park, which is still sort of central New South Wales, a bit west of Canberra.
It's cool climate, relatively high altitude. I think it's 700 and something, between 300 and 800.
Between 300 and 800 metres is where all the vineyards are.
So it varies, but pretty high up there and pretty cold. Short summers, there's about 740 acres planted approximately in the region, and a lot of that actually goes to big producers like McWilliams and Hardy's, and then there's also smaller producers that buy grapes from Tumbarumba, like the ones that we're showing you today, which are Chalkers Crossing and Lankeys Creek.
Now the thing about Tumbarumba is that it is getting very well known for its grapes. You might be buying your Tumbarumba wines through the Barwang label or other McWilliams, but it's getting very well known. Just recently the Daily Telegraph, a Sydney newspaper, put out a little magazine quoting the top 100 wines, New South Wales wines. Now, of the 7 Sauv Blancs that came up, 2 of them came out of the Tumbarumba region. Now Tumbarumba only has, 340 hectares in the whole country planted, and 2 out of 7 in the top 100, so you've got to be thinking there's something going right for the Sauv Blanc growers out of Tumbarumba. So it is something to keep your eye on. If you can find a Tumbarumba wine, Sauv Blanc, not that we've tasted these ones exactly yet, but obviously there's something going right up there, so keep an eye out for the way their fruit's going to go in the future.
Their first vines were planted around the 1980s, and at the moment about 75% are Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and a lot of it goes into sparkling. But we don't have any sparkling
What we actually picked up was one of their other types, like we mentioned before, Sauv Blanc. The reason we got the Sauv Blanc is because we saw the report from Halliday's, which is, if in the US, the equivalent of the Parker review. Halliday, Parker, sort of same thing, different countries. And the Sauv Blancs were just creaming it. So we picked up a Chalkers Crossing Sauv Blanc. I hope you can see that there. As you can see in the bottom, Tumbarumba region, Aboriginal word for something to do with the thumping of the
sounding ground,
of the kangaroos jumping through.
Across. Yep.
So in 2008. Now
we also had a bit of an incident, well, almost incident, when we were in Tumbarumba. On the way in, we came down through the snowy mountains, and something a little unusual for us. You know, we're used to the kangaroos on the side of the road, racing along with your car, daring to jump out in front of you. But what we had were wild horses.
Wild horses, yay.
That was something new.
Man from Snowy River, right down there.
Yep,
so there you go. Now the other thing is the old Trippy's brakes took a bit of a hammering through that period, so it's actually in the shop at the moment. We forgot to get our regular glasses out.
It's in the shop because we had a recall. So
we had decided to recall our brakes.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, but they only told us now after we couldn't stop properly in the snowy mountains. Anyway, so we're using our the little local wine glasses today, and we are doing 3 wines today. Also a rare thing, we're going to do 2 Sauv Blancs, and then we're throwing in a Pinot from the Tumbarumba region.
Yep.
So there you go. We're starting with the, as I showed you before, Chalkers Crossing,
which are based in Young, and they have a French winemaker who I believe is now an Australian citizen, Céline Rousseau. We tasted a few of their wines the other day in Young, and we were quite pleased. But we'll just talk about Tumbarumba now. How's that smelling?
I think it smells kind of a
citrusy.
Sort of citrusy, but sort of a little fruity, floral, sweet almost off the nose. But once you get into the drinking of it, it's yummy. It's quite yummy.
It's very tasty. It's very zesty. It's got a crispness to it. It's quite a long palate really for a Sauv Blanc.
It's really well balanced. It's got all that fruit you want from the Sauv Blanc up front. The nice middle palate's fleshed out, and then there's a really nice long tasting.
There is, and it was barrel fermented as well, or partially barrel fermented for a while, so that is possibly adding to the smoothness, making it not quite as acidic as some of those Sauv Blancs from New Zealand.
But yeah, look.
Thumbs up for that one.
Definitely. I reckon that's a good thumbs up wine. As we said before, Tumbarumba's growing some good fruit, and this is a great winemaker doing some really good things with the good fruit that's coming from a good area. So, Chalkers Crossing. What, 2 zeros? No, I don't know.
So what we've got next is the Lankies Creek.
Now, I'll show you
We haven't actually visited Lankies Creek. I don't even know if they have a cellar door in Tumbarumba, to be honest.
Lankies Creek.
Just recently read that they've moved to Victoria, so...
The way we source this, actually going into Tumbarumba, you'll actually find the best supplier of all the local wines is the local supermarket. So we picked up the Lankies Creek from the supermarket.
So the Lankies Creek wine is significantly different to the Chalkers Crossing. I did a little quick research on Lankies Creek. What they say on their website is that it's a Kiwi-style Sauv Blanc, and they're absolutely right. If you like your Marlborough Sauv Blancs, this is what you want to go for. Personally, after just having the Chalkers Crossing, I don't want to go near a Marlborough Sauv Blanc ever again. It's got the herbaceous kind of characters, and it's very flavoursome, but
I'm finding
I like the smoothness of the Chalkers Crossing.
I'm finding this that sort of green capsicum sort of smell, and what some people refer to in Sauv Blanc as like cat's pea. And I think there's
not mine,
just
but,
a small amount of that kind of astringent flavour nose coming off this.
Yeah, look, it's got some great flavours there. It's quite tasty, but I'm definitely going towards the Chalkers Crossing. I think that's a much smoother, crisper wine and more to my palate's taste. I also find that one a little sweeter. The Lankies Creek's a little bit sweeter than the Chalkers Crossing.
I totally agree. There's less complexity going on here. It's just a straight up throw it back kind of wine. So I'm not sort of thinking there's too much going on here. Some people criticise Sauv Blanc for lacking line and length. But so if you're going to talk cricket terms, line and length, then we're talking this one's one of those foreign bowlers that can't straighten their arm, and the other one is Glenn McGrath, or maybe Dennis Lilly in his prime kind of thing. Line right, length right. So if you're looking for New Zealand style, we're talking Lankies Creek, and if we're talking a fresher, fruitier, better balanced palate,
cool climate style,
we're going Chalkers Crossing. But very quickly, hey, special show.
Yes, just very quickly with the Pinot Noir from also Chalkers Crossing, based solely out of Tumbarumba. You can smell the spices, you can smell very berry kind of fruits coming through.
Oh, look at that colour. Isn't that beautiful? That is the perfect Pinot colour.
Plummy, spicy,
a little bit of strawberry in there.
Good tannins, very smooth tannins. Very enjoyable.
Yum. Okay, kind of what Kat said before. There's some spices in the front, there's some tannins in the back, but it's nicely balanced. It's fleshed out through the middle. All the fruit flavours are still in there. There's a bit of strawberry in the nose, which is something that I particularly like, but it's not overpowering.
I like my reds to have a little bit of spice, and this is a nice gentle spice in the Pinot.
Tumbarumba has proved to produce some good fruit yet again.
Good fruit, yep. Good job, Tumba.
All right, that's enough. We're going to be out of here now.
Heading off to Wagga Wagga.
Yep, into the Wagga Wagga region.
And Gundagai region.
And Gundagai, which is the very eastern end of Riverina. That's what's coming up next.
Yep.
Stay tuned. Check us next time.
We'll catch you there. Bye.